Hi, my name is Laura and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Ida Sports, and we make awesome soccer shoes for female athletes. And today I'm going to be taking you through the investment landscape, or what I like to call the Show Me the Money edition. So where does one's business get money from? And I'm going to assume that you're interested in raising money, or maybe you're just starting out on your journey and want to learn more, or you just have a feeling that you need more money in the business. And no, it is not the money tree, if only one of those existed. Well, two common ways to get money into your business. So the first one is actually revenue, wild, paying customers. And the second is investment. So this is people giving you money in return for a piece of your company. So revenue from customers is actually one of the more underrated ways to bring money into your business. We have X customers who love us and buy from us repeatedly. We have X in recurring revenue. This is actually one of the strongest marks of a thriving business. So the next question you kind of want to ask is, do you actually need money? So what's your cash flow like? Do you want to grow? Lots of people chase investment because it sounds fancy. We raised $1 squillion. But first of all, ask yourself if you actually need to raise funds. So if the answer is yes, then let's talk about the different ways to find money. So before we talk about investment, there are actually a few alternatives to raise funds. Debt is one that isn't particularly sexy, but you should consider. So it's a way to get a loan of money, which you then repay, often with an interest rate. So we're a product company, so we use trade or stock financing. So a company pays our factory for stock, we pay the company back when we sell shoes, including an interest percentage. And most stock financing companies don't actually take a percentage of your company, so you're not giving anything away. There's also kind of other alternate sources of funding, so crowdfunding and non-diluting grants that might actually help you achieve your aims. So you still want to raise money and you want some investors. Well, you might want more money to grow faster. That's one of the reasons you could take on investment. We made the decision to take on investment because we wanted access to investor networks and expertise. And so we've brought on investors who are specialists in supply chain, brand, finance, patents, etc. So investment often means giving away part of your company to get cash monies into the business. Now, there are a range of investors who want different things from different companies. Like some of the range here, so ranging from kind of angel investors to family offices to more sophisticated kind of venture capital and private equity funds. As a very general rule of thumb, angels come in at an earlier stage and VCs come in at a later stage. So a lot of investors now have an investment thesis or a set of principles that they want to invest along. For example, only clean tech, or only women's sport. Now, wouldn't that be a dream? But VCs often have expectations of kind of 6 to 10x or more returns. So what they put in for their money, they're looking to get out 10 times that, and often in a shorter time period. So they're looking for very high growth companies. Impact investors tend to have longer return on their portfolios, so you have a bit more time to kind of hit some of these growth metrics. So I'm generalizing, but the main takeaway is that there's a range of expectations. So you really need to know what you're signing up for before you raise money. And there are also different mechanisms which you can use to raise money. So from convertible notes to shares in a price round, you want to kind of find the mechanism that works for you. We started with a convertible note because we wanted the flexibility, whilst our valuation was still uncertain. It gave us the time then to build our business and kind of take that next step. All right, sobering stat time. Yeah, it's still kind of like this. Yeah, it feels like this when you're trying to raise capital. So if you're female, it's hard. If you're female and a person of color, it's harder. However, don't let that put you off. The landscape is changing. And as I said, there are still lots of alternative sources of funding out there. So, and I know I said it before, but paying customers and revenue is one of the best indicators of a good business. So if you've got customers that are giving you money for the thing that you are making, that is one of the best ways to build a thriving business. So here are some kind of summary life lessons about investment. Don't give away equity until the time is right. So people might be asking you for X percentage of your company and they'll give you some money. Like, really think hard about that decision, because it's harder to get back once you start going down that track. Choose your investors wisely. So try not to just kind of invest, get money, go for the smart money. And that's something that we talk about a lot. Don't promise anything. So when you're initially in negotiations, just things like board seats have legal implications. So investors will ask you for lots of things. Don't promise anything to start with, because you might not know entirely what you're signing up for. So negotiate your butt off. Imagine negotiating on behalf of your best friends. So you wouldn't get them a bad deal. So it sometimes feels uncomfortable, but this is your business. This is your future. So make sure you're negotiating hard for the thing that you care about. And finally, if it's not right, walk away. There is other money out there, so you don't have to take the money of every person that talks to you about investing. So I think the main thing is to educate yourself. So I've learned a lot of this stuff over the last 4 years by trial and error. There's been a lot of Googling. There's a lot of asking others in this space. I've personally learned a lot from other trailblazing women in this area, like Anne at Goal 5. So my advice is to help each other and huddle up, because there needs to be more women in sports tech creating growing businesses that serve our communities. So that was a rapid fire look through investment and what to think about if you're on this journey. Please do reach out through Women in Soccer if you want to know more or want to share great investors with a group, or if you found that there's that money tree that miraculously drops non-diluting grants on you. And go out there and change the future of women's sport. Look forward to seeing what businesses emerge.